As a Nigerian company, starting a business, I don't know exactly your businesses. I don't know what industries you serve. I don't know what industries you're interested in serving. But I do know that right now, as a Nigerian company, you have a lot of opportunity to enter the United States or the international space in terms of being a product seller. Why do I think that? I think that because, first of all, China, which is primarily where manufactured product is coming from in many areas of industry, is obviously having a lot of tension with the United States and other parts of the world. And so that's leaving a lot of opportunity for other countries to step in. Second of all, China and other countries are becoming very expensive to manufacture from, logistically. So this is an opportunity right now, no matter if you come from Nigeria, if you come from Asia, it doesn't matter. If you can develop a product, sell a product, brand a product that is both good, strong, meaning people want it, and two, you can keep your pricing in check. You have an opportunity to win business today because pricing stability is all over the place. So any business has a fair shot today. I think the most difficult thing to do if you're going to start a business from Nigeria and sell to the United States specifically is how you enter these markets. How do you actually enter these markets? So I want to provide you with three starting points or three models that one can select in order to enter the United States. So the first way a Nigerian can enter the United States is a wholesaler. So a wholesaler would be a unbranded product that you would really make for other brands. So for example, you have, if you were manufacturing, I don't know, let's just say shoes, okay? If you're making shoes, you're going to be making shoes for clients in the United States, maybe a big buyer that's importing the items into the United States and branding them themselves or selling them to smaller distributors. So then you're doing a mass wholesale business. And you're mostly looking for clients that want to manufacture in Nigeria using your cost structure and putting their brand on it. And you would be then selling these products by the container load. And as a wholesaler, it's a business that has maybe lower margins, but higher volume. And as a wholesaler, I think that it's very important to understand most of the times manufacturers enter at this point. The problem with the business is cash flow. At the point that you are manufacturing a container of product and sending it on the water to come to America as a container, you usually will not receive payment for at least 30 days after the client receives the product. So as a wholesaler, you have cash issues all the time because you have to balance the manufacturing, who you're going to have to pay, and then the seller isn't going to pay you for a while for such a large part of product. The second way to go is to be a distributor or a branded distributor. And as a branded distributor, what you would do is you would import the product yourself to the United States. By the way, I'm hearing some noise in the background, so I don't know if that's from our space or not, but it's difficult to speak over. I don't know if you can help me with that. Anyways, The second position is to be a branded distributor, and that is to create a brand in your create a brand for your business. Let's say again, it's in shoes, and instead of selling it as a volume play or by the container to a wholesaler, you would still send a container over to the United States, or maybe less than a container, and you would then store the products that you send in a warehouse, and that warehouse would be as close to your customers as possible, and you would be selling to these customers, which would be retail shops, retailers, and distributors, in regional and hopefully national distributors, and you would be selling your brand to them and trying to get onto shelf space, trying to get shelf space, and building your brand with the help of retailers who have sales forces, who have storefronts, who can market your product in different regions. And that is the second position, to be a branded distributor. The third area that you can assume, the third model that you could look to sell products from Nigeria to America, is actually to be a direct to customer, direct to, let's say, individual consumer, or B2C position. And that would be something like an Amazon, an eBay, where you could sell less than, you can send less than container product from Nigeria to maybe LA, or maybe to Georgia warehouse, or wherever you want to be, Chicago, somewhere that has good rates and also can service businesses and communities around your warehouse, because maybe you're selling to the B2C community, but slowly businesses might want to pick up your product. So you're going to need a warehouse, and you're going to need to store the product, and you're going to need, when you get a sale, to have a warehouse that will send out small parcels. And so those are the three major models that you would need to decide when starting your business or building your business. So I want to stop there, and I want to ask Chief, am I clear so far? And two, of those three models, are there any questions that we have?
All right, Adam. Yeah, you're very clear. I think we would want to open the mic for people that have questions, to request for the microphone and ask you direct questions. But before then, one of my questions would be, what do you think, or which business do you think is in high demand, that people in Nigeria can venture into, so that they can make kind of profitable gain, doing the business, across America?
But Chief, before he comes on, says anything, I would like to say that if you have any question, use the hashtag Igbo Business Space, so that we can read it. I help to read it, and of course, the question will be attended to. So you can go on, Mr. Adam.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so the question from Chief is, what business right now would you get into? So this is a very, very interesting question. So as I said, I've started over 20 companies. I've invested in probably another 10 or 15. So I've been a part of the operations and beginnings of close to 50 companies. And, I've been in different spaces. So as I said, I've been in industrial, the industrial space of industrial product manufacturing. In my time with historically Black colleges and universities as president of the I Institute, I worked with a lot of consumer businesses, leather shoelaces, handbags, headphones, earphones, Bluetooth earphones, all different types of like T-shirt businesses. In the areas of food, I have invested in alcohol, beer company. I also had nightclub. I have some investment understanding, but not as strong in that area. But all the same, I think. So, in my opinion, there's a lot of opportunities in different businesses, but the key is right now in the United States that companies and people are not spending a lot of money unless you hit their area well, and it has to fit within what they want. So first of all, I think any market is open, but two, the question becomes, how do you enter the market? In my opinion, America needs product innovation. One of the most interesting things about the last 20 years I've seen is that there are very few interesting, innovative products that enter these markets. And so what happens is if you look at product sales today, it's very open. You can go onto Amazon and you can see what people are selling to the consumers. If you go to the stores, you can see that there is not a lot of innovation from a product space with these markets. Meaning that if you go to stores today, you don't see a lot of new products entering. And that's interesting because if you're coming from Nigeria, you're coming from a different understanding of products. Today, if you look at who's marketing our products, it's Black Americans. People like LeBron James, who became a billionaire, they say yesterday. Or there's many other, if you look at McDonald's commercials, or if you look at any commercial, Black Americans are front and center as marketing central. And so the key is that right now, there's a lot of opportunity to kind of create an image, to build a brand in the United States. Nigeria has a different understanding of design, has a different understanding, it has different tastes for food, right? So what I would be doing is looking for a unique product that you're passionate about, that you like, whether it be in the food area or the design area, and to build a brand. Whatever you do, you need to build a brand in your space, because without a brand in your area, you don't retain any value. You're just a product trader at that point. And to me, whatever product you look at, you need to have a brand. Now, the second issue is what product to pick becomes what product you have numbers on. What product you can find that's cheap, that you can manufacture cheap, right? Cheap enough to buy, cheap enough to sell in the United States for a good margin, a good a dollar. And thirdly, you have to pick a product that you can package easily. You're sending something from Nigeria to the United States, right? You need to control your packaging. The smaller the parcel, the better. Why? Because the smaller the parcel, not only is it easier for move from Nigeria to the United States, but it's easier and cheaper to move throughout the United States. If you have a bigger item and you're trying to move, your warehouse is in Georgia and you're trying to sell something to let's say New York, the cost of moving from Georgia to New York, it's expensive, right? So the smaller, the easier to move your product, the better, because it's not as expensive and you have to pay that cash flow up front. Now, maybe if you're on eBay, the customer pays for it within 2 days, but a lot of times when you're sending parcels throughout a country to a business and such, you're not going to be paid for a while. So you want to reduce that shipping. So those are 3 starting points when you select your business. Okay. Now it depends. If you right now the easy opportunities, I think are today what I was asked to speak about and told that many of the listeners are into the food area, right? And I also understand from speaking to Chief that fashion and fashion related products might also be a market that everybody here on this call is looking towards. So let's take those 2 industries and look at the difference between distributing those products, okay? So let's say that you have a food item, which I think is very interesting. Why do I think it's interesting to have a food item? Because Nigerian food and tastes are very, very, very going to be very interesting in the United States, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunity for food-related products. 2, I know that the Nigerian government is pushing food. And I also know that there's a lot of problems with America accepting Nigerian packaged food or any food for that matter. That might be a problem, but it's also an opportunity because it's difficult. And anything that's difficult usually has money to it. Okay. But let's say that you develop a product that's Nigerian, that's kind of Nigerian, a Nigerian taste, but you want to package it to Americans. I think there's a lot of opportunity with that. If you decide to do that, then what you're going to focus on is selling product to supermarkets. Selling product to supermarkets is actually a great business. Now, you're going to need cash because supermarkets buy big. But the other thing about supermarkets is that supermarkets have a lot of programs that you can sign up to kind of work through a process, right? To work through a process that they work with you to teach you how you can sell your product to their region, how to package it, right? How to brand it. And so, companies from Walmart to companies like Jewel Osco, companies like even Trader Joe's have programs for this. So if you're into food items, you're going to want to focus on working with supermarkets and building a distribution network by contacting national, regional, and local food sellers, supermarkets. But if you are going to do fashion, you are going to want to find, let's say, something like leather shoelaces or shoe jewelry. And these products, or maybe hats, or a new type of shirt, or a new type of clothing, here you're going to have to focus on what? Selling to the right clothing company that's positioned in the same way that you're looking for, or to meet those customers. And so what happens here is that you can already see if you're going to get into fashion, you're more limited in who's going to distribute your product because you have to find a company that's the same brand as yours. You don't want to be lower. And someone that's Gucci, if you're selling something that's not as high level, is not going to take you. And they're more picky. So the issue becomes, if you're going to get into food or you're going to get into fashion, there's different ways to distribute. If you're into fashion, you're going to have to find retailers with brands to sell your product, or else you're working with who? Target, and doing low branded stuff, high volume, low margin. You're not going to make any money that way. So the key, I can't tell you what product to pick unless people start talking to me about specific ideas. But I can tell you that the product you pick will have a big impact on your success. And 2, it will depend upon what distribution you want to work with, right? That's the key to product trade, is understanding not what product you want, but what businesses are going to carry your product. Does that make sense, Chief?
Yes, yes, it does. Uche, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Adam. Thank you for your explanation. So I would like to ask this very specific question. I don't know, have you done any business specifically in Nigeria? Do you have any product or anything that you're doing, with Nigeria? If yes, can you kindly tell us the challenges that you have encountered, or what do you think that is contributing to the absence of that type of distribution that you talked about in Nigeria? And again, I would like also, since you've been to China, you know exactly how it's obtainable in China. I would like to know how are they able to manufacture products that are, products that are sellable to American market and, even European market? How are they able to do that?
Okay, that's a wonderful question. And by the way, my phone looks like it's overheating, so if it goes off, I've already set up my computer, and I can just jump on. Just give me a minute. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, so great question. Great questions. Okay, so I invested in Congo in Sierra Leone. In 1999, I sold computers actually. After Kabila left, I was like 2001, 2002 actually. I started selling to Congo and Sierra Leone, but I've never bought anything from Africa and sold it abroad. Now, but I've worked in China. I also I held a government position in Haiti. I worked with the president who was killed, and I actually worked with the defense minister to create an export sector for Haiti, trying to create over 2 million jobs in Haiti. And so I served in Haiti. I've also consulted with Mexican government, and I've worked a lot in Mexico. And so, and I work with a lot of low income areas to develop export areas. And that's why I was picked by Jackson State University to lead the EI Institute, the Supply Chain Institute. So I've worked in a lot of areas. And so that's let's talk about what these places don't have that China has. And why is China so competitive? And what can you do to replace China, right? So what China's done is the Chinese government worked from a top-down level. And what they've done is they've created two things. One, they have created big areas of the country, that focus on specific industries, specific markets. So if you, for example, are in the clothing area, let's say the shoe area, you have 1,000 companies that make soles, another 500 companies, 1,000 companies that make laces. You have all different types of, fabric makers. You have shoe designers, everything together in one area. So what happens is it's easy for companies to cooperate. Number two, all the material is there, so it's very quick for companies to design something. It's very quick for companies to understand pricing. It's very quick for companies to get product to their warehouse, to their company, to make things or to say yes or no to samples. It's cheap to move. So when you have businesses together in clusters, and that's what Nigeria should do, is partner up. So if 20 of you were to start businesses in the t-shirt area, you guys could buy t-shirt from maybe China or from whoever you can make t-shirts at a bigger rate, and then all 20 businesses would buy the t-shirts at a cheaper rate together, and then they can make their own designs and sell them, to their own markets. They don't have to compete with each other, right? And so the Chinese government has set that up. And two, the Chinese government helps lower the cost of materials like metal or like fabrics. And that's why they have such an advantage. because the companies get subsidies from the government to trade. Now, in Nigeria, you're never going to get the government. You're never going to get the government in Nigeria to do this, to support you in that way. Okay. So it's going to come down to people on this call coming together and deciding what industries you can cooperatively develop. Okay. And then I move to the key question, which is, well, let me stop there. See, the Chinese, everybody thinks the Chinese are good, but really the Chinese are not good. They have no understanding of the American culture. They have no understanding of the American product and how we use products. Chinese don't use products. Chinese don't camp. Chinese don't hunt. Chinese don't do anything. They live in small apartments. They get on a subway. They go to work. They come home. They don't use the products that they make. Okay? And so as a Nigerian, so if you come to America, you look at the products today, there's no innovation. Okay? You think about it. Do Chinese people know style? No. Do Chinese people know how to design for the black diaspora in America? No. The Chinese come out with cool designs that white kids want to wear? No. Okay? Chinese make mass amount of Nike shoes. But who designs the shoe? Michael Jordan. And probably other black folk who are good designers, or maybe some white people, or maybe some Hispanics, right? But my point to you is that the key that you have an understanding of design, right? You have an understanding of design as a culture, as a people, and you have the understanding of what people in my country want more than Chinese. And so what you have is you have basic intelligence. You have market intelligence. 2, you have brothers and sisters. You have community members in the United States, okay? And 2, you speak English. You have the ability to make friends. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to use those communication skills, which the Chinese don't have. And you're going to have to focus on making relationships directly with those retailers, directly with those product distributors, because that's what the Chinese are not good at. The Chinese can mass manufacture, but they are terrible at distribution. They are terrible. They can only use Amazon. They can't actually get into product distribution to companies, to businesses, or even to the consumer market, really outside of Amazon. If you want to know the truth, 80% of the product on Amazon is made in China. Okay? So now I want to see you make product in Nigeria and sell it to America. But your first step might not be that way. Okay? Meaning you might not be able to just find product in Nigeria and sell it. Okay? Maybe you'll have to go, maybe you can find your product in Nigeria, for example, leather wallets. Or maybe you're going to have to go to Ghana where there's leather. I don't know. Okay? So maybe across Africa, there's so much resource. You should be able to find unique product in your region. And then again, your focus, you're thinking about the product, but it's not the product. It's the buyer. It's the distribution means. Chief Anabra, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. Is that clear?
Yeah, quite very clear. And I'm sure so many people who listened, and of course, they picked 1 or 2 things from what you said. And again, if you are here, kindly share this across your timeline so that more people can join. Please don't be selfish. Share this across your timeline. If you have any question, use the hashtag Igbo Business so that we can take up the question. There are already questions dropping. But before I go to the questions, Chief, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I have something to say. Adam, when you were talking, you talked about understanding the design and understanding what the American market wants. And then, of course, you said about making relationship with product distributors. Already, I have a very wonderful example. Is in Igbo land, we have a market in Aba. They are known for shoes. They make wonderful shoes, leather shoes, belts, and I think they can also make wallets. It's been known for years. Actually, I think they are one of the best places you can get locally made shoes in Nigeria. Such a big enterprise going on there. What do you think they will need to do to maximize their presence in the world shoe market? And what can they do specifically to gain that recognition and obviously have this relationship with product distributors in America?
It's a great question. Great question. So first of all, if you have a supply chain that's leather or that has a material base there, and you can make shoes, you can make belts, you can make wallets, that's great. That is perfect, because you have the ability to, one, provide a custom solution to your clients. Meaning, if a guy's going to buy your shoes, he's going to want to pair it with a belt. He's going to want to have nice tips. He's going to want to have X, Y, and Z. Or maybe you don't start there, but you could expand into that. Because today, you could become a full label in a sense. Okay. You have the resource if you want. Okay. Second of all, let's say that we just start with shoes. Okay. That's a really, really interesting industry, shoes. Okay. Very, very difficult on one hand, because there's a lot of shoemakers. So you have competition. Okay. But at the other hand, it's an interesting play, because you can sell shoes to big companies. You can sell shoes to small companies or medium companies. You can create a brand and sell it on Amazon at the same time. You can find local or regional stores to pick up your brand and sell them in specific communities. Let me give you an example. We had a client named Jamesa Lewis Adams. She came to the Institute in China for 86 days. She's from California. Her background is Black and Puerto Rican. Her mom was Puerto Rican. I believe her father was Black. And she came and she wanted to start a fashion business. She wanted to start a leather handbag business. And she didn't have a lot of money, okay? Didn't have a lot of money. So she was in China. She came to China, as I said, and there's a market called Iwu, which some of you might know on this call. And it basically makes all different types of fashion products, similar to the market you're discussing in your country. And she didn't have enough money. She went and she said, I would like to buy handbags. And they said, well, the MOQ, the minimum order quantity for each style of bag, is 100 bags. Well, she didn't have the money to buy 100 bags for each design. So what she did was she started to buy the bags that were like sample bags, or she would buy bags that had been from last season and they had some left over. So basically the stuff that no one wanted. And what she did was she took these, she would buy 50 or 30 or 40 at a time. Okay. And she was paying about 10 or 15 US dollars for the product. So she would spend, right, $500, $1,000, $1,500. And she would buy these bags and she would put an insert card with her brand in it. And then what she did was she went to small boutique stores in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Georgia. For example, one was called the Royal Boutique. And what she did was she offered these handbags to these store owners on consignment, and she sold the handbags for about $175 a handbag. So she was making, she bought the product for $10. She shipped it for another $5 or $10. So her cost basis was about $20, and she shipped let's say 12, 15 bags to a store. She had 3 stores, and she would make $60 or $80 in profit a handbag. And so the key was to find a product that these stores wanted to sell. And as she contacted more stores, she had a simple online catalog with a simple website that showed her different handbag styles that she's sold, because she doesn't have a model, right? Now, if you had a model and you were right next to the market, you could easily take pictures of different product or one-offs, or you could develop a small line of product, and you could start marketing it to boutique owners, small boutique owners, medium-sized businesses in regions that are targeting the customers you want to wear your products. And after about a year or two of doing this, you might, if it sells well and you start to develop a brand, that's when you can go to larger retailers and say, look, I have had success in a local area. Let me sell my product to 1, 2, 3 of your stores. And if your customers like it, pick me up as a national brand. You say, that sounds difficult. I say, it's not very difficult. If you look at my business in Secure, I've done the same thing. Look, in Secure Tool, we started as a wholesale manufacturer in 2008, making product for other companies around the world. And then when I started to see how much money I was leaving on the table, I mean, I was making a product for $8 and selling it for $9.50. And I was making $1.50 a product. When I moved to retail or B2B, selling directly to businesses, retailers who sell my product, I'm making something for $10 or $8, and I'm selling it for $20. Yes, I have to pay $2 for logistics and maybe 50 cents for warehousing, but I have a brand out there in the market, and I have been able to build over the last, we started the brand in 2014, so 8 years. We started going to small shops. We went to 800 trailer stores with our products from San Diego to Jacksonville, Florida. There's 800, 1,000 trailer shops within 1/3 of a mile from I-10 road, okay, a major highway that goes from San Diego to Florida. We contacted all those companies. We sent them emails. We went to, we had meetings with them when we could. And slowly they picked up my products. As 50, 60, 70 of these 1,000 companies picked up my products, I started going to larger brands and saying, hey, people like my products. Can you pick them up? Now, you can do that from Nigeria just like we did it from Arizona, where I live. It's not like you can just go to these people's offices and they let you in. It takes 6 months, a year after contacting them, and then they accept and they say, okay, let me see your things. Okay, send me a sample. Okay, show me your pricing. Okay. And as you develop these smaller business relationships, the medium and bigger ones will come to you, and slowly you will create a national brand. What do you think about that?
I think that sounds pretty good. But then my question again, just in addition to the question I asked you earlier, is in a situation where we have issue with capital, because you mentioned about producing it in large quantity to be able to sell to the markets, right? So where we have issues with capital, do you know, or what do you suggest in such a situation where maybe startups or people that have been doing it, as a kind of small scale business, what do you suggest such person would do in order to meet up with the supply that they might likely, the supply demand they will likely have from potential sellers in the US? And then again, what is your opinion, or what you know about partnership and investors that might eventually want to invest or partner with those medium and small scale businesses in Nigeria?
Okay, so yeah, look, if you're going to have a product business, you're going to want to keep that product at least, a pallet of product, meaning let's say a couple hundred of your products. Let's say that you're making wallets. You're going to want to store in America 100 or 200 wallets, okay, at one time. That's about maybe 100. Why? Let's say that you have a wallet brand, okay? First of all, you're going to send a box of wallets, or maybe not even a pallet. A pallet would be too many, right? So you would send a box or two of wallets, okay? Maybe 2 or 3 different SKUs, okay? You have to have more than one color product. You have to have the same product in several colors, which is each a SKU. And you would then host it at a warehouse here, and you're going to pay a couple dollars a month at most for that box. Okay. And you're going to open up an Amazon and eBay. Okay. And maybe on eBay, you're going to open up your brand. And then you're going to open up a brand that's not affiliated with you as a discount store that no one knows you're operating, almost as like you're a discount retailer. And you are going to sell that product through your stores, Amazon, eBay, as well as you're going to begin to talk to businesses, small businesses, boutiques, medium-sized retailers that want to carry your wallets. And you're going to contact these retailers and say, hey, I've been selling direct to customer, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to build a brand. So I'm not going to sell to customers in the United States under this price, maybe $20, okay? But I'm going to give it to you at $14 as a business if you buy 20 wallets at a time, okay? 20 wallets. Meaning you then are going to take those 20 wallets and I'm going to send it to your store, and 30 days later, you're going to pay me for all 20 wallets. So let's say $12 or $14 a wallet times 20, okay? So you're going to give me $280, let's say, for that box in a month. And they're going to worry about selling that wallet, and they're going to probably sell that wallet for $25 or $30. So they're going to make good money, okay? And so as you sell more stores, or your product sells more on Amazon, okay, then what's going to happen is you are going to want to store more product. And so you can build a business in that way. Now, you ask me, what about funding? What about investment? Well, first of all, for example, with wallets, if you cannot raise enough money to buy 100 or 200 wallets and store them in America, I would say that you're not thinking hard enough. You have friends, family, or small grants. I mean, we're talking about $1,000 or $1,500, $2,000 is all you need to start, okay? And you should, if you're going to be an entrepreneur starting a brand, you're going to need to focus on finding a little money from different sources, 5, 10 people that can help you, okay? And I would not give them a percentage of your business. I would simply ask them to give you a loan at a low interest rate, and I would try to extend my terms with them 6 months, a year, so that you don't have cash flow problems, okay, maybe a year, because things do not move fast all the time. Now, second of all, your investment is going to be needed not in the beginning, because you'll make some money, but it's when you start to expand that business into retail stores that are now saying, hey, can you give me 5 boxes because I have 5 stores and I want to put 20 wallets in each of my stores? And you're going to say to them, hey guys, I don't really have the cash for that. Can we change the terms? And they're going to tell you, sure, I'm not going to wait 30 days. I'm going to have to, I will take 3% discount or 5% discount, and I'll pay you within 10 days. Okay, so you can negotiate with businesses to pay you early, not Walmart, but a lot of businesses will work with you in America, a lot. But you have to have that conversation. And then when you have to buy the product, maybe those 5 boxes and send them, right? Remember, you can buy the product in your home, and it's going to take maybe air shipment only a week or two to get to the store, have it inbounded, and for them to pay you. So you're going to need a little bit of a bridge loan. You should be able to find, one 30-day bridge financing to get product manufactured, 45 days, 60-day bridge financing until the client picks you up. Because you have dedicated clients that are buying stores, so you should be able to see some financing. If you don't, then you're going to have to really look for a banker or look for some elders that can help you with $5,000-$10,000 instead of a couple thousand. You're going to have to double, triple it until you get enough cash flow from your retail customers. And that's the key, is to slowly expand and to find what product really works so that you don't have cash flow problems. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I thank you. I just want to reiterate something I heard you say, just to confirm that was what you said. You said part of the step was to open up Amazon or eBay store, then selling through those stores, and then after that you start contacting small stores at a discounted rate. And when I asked you about issues with capital, you said to negotiate with businesses to pay kind of early if you don't have the capital at a discounted rate, right? Just want to make sure that that's what you said, because that's what I just noted down here.
That's absolutely perfect. I want to retouch on 2 of those points. So yeah, I think everybody listening has to understand, if you're going to build a business like Apple sells directly to stores. Well, I mean, they like Best Buy, for example, resells Apple product, right? And you can buy Apple directly on their website, or you can go to a number of online websites and buy Apple, right? And by the way, schools, organizations directly buy from Apple too. So when you look at their business model, they are selling in every way possible. You have to do the same thing, right? Now, you're a small business from Nigeria. That's your advantage. You've got culture. You've got good design. You've got good product. You bring it to America, your product, and you put it on Amazon, you put it on eBay. You can put it on a lot of e-commerce websites, okay? How are you going to get a brand? You're going to use YouTube. You're going to use YouTube to build a culture, to build a brand name for yourself, to show your products. And so as you build that video, that marketing piece, hopefully people will start to recognize your brand on those e-commerce. And two, you're going to then take those videos and you're going to take your simple online website, and you're going to send the link to maybe 50 small boutiques and 25 regional medium-sized product distributors. And you're going to send the email, and you're not going to get a lot of response. So you're going to call. You're going to spend the next 30 days, 60 days. Call. Hi, I'm Chief. I own this business. I sent you an email. I would really like to get my product in your store. I think that there's a lot of synergy. You have beautiful products. I have beautiful wallets. I want to put my wallet. How much? Oh, Wholesale price is this. You can pay me after you sell, or 30 days or 60 days. Let's talk. Okay. So as you build a consumer business, you are now also building a channel distribution business, right? And so by doing both of those things at the same time, your brand will accelerate faster, right? Second of all, on the financing side, look, if you are, one thing that you have to realize is you will get support as you build, as you get more stores. Okay, so that will come hand in hand. People like me would be very interesting to finance things if you have contracts. Okay, this will not be difficult. Interest rates are very low, not a big deal. The other thing I would say to you all, everybody on this call, very, very important. Today, the world is digital. If you guys are into blockchain or crypto, you know, I am a physical tool seller. I have product in over 5,000 companies, retailers in the United States right now. Okay? My branded products. You can go to my website, securedtool.store, and see products. They're all across America. They're in Canada. They are in Spain. They are in Australia. They are in Britain. What I have done is I've moved into digital. So if you're going to make shoes for people physically, you should also take those same designs, make them into an NFT, and sell digital shoes to people. Meaning, don't just sell physical product. Sell digital product. People that buy the physical shoe, you can also sell them the digital NFT to go along with it, right? Now, what shoe company in America is making a physical shoe and also selling the NFT with it? No one, right? So you have to get creative. And as a Nigerian business, your design is great. I love Nigerian design. I was looking at all different types of Nigerian companies before this talk, and you have an advantage. So if you're able to enter the digital space and make an NFT and either give it away, upsell it, pair it with your physical sale, that gives you an advantage in the market. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's a wonderful idea. Owing to the fact that digital products like NFTs is something that's kind of still pretty new and springing up, and I think if our businesses would jump into it, that will make them very successful. So I thank you for that. Uche, I don't know if you have something to add to this.
Yes, thank you, Chief, and thank you, Adam. Of course, this has been a very wonderful and educative session. So there are a lot of things that I noted, and while you were talking, I was looking at how the local businesses here, or how the environment we are here, we are in, how we can be able to leverage on some of the things you listed. And one of the things that I must, re-echo is the fact that we have to recognize that the need to globalize our businesses. The need to extend our tentacles beyond Nigeria, and how we can, how the need for us to package our products, whatever that we are pushing, we have to package it properly, be able to sell it, put it where people can actually see it, so that it will be sellable beyond borders. So I will want to take straight some of the questions that have been asked using the hashtag. So somebody was asking, he said, how easy is it to export wares? This is coming from Wanda Brown Sugar. How easy is it to export wares made in African prints to abroad? Or rather, the steps involved in exporting wares made in African prints? That's the question. Then we also have another one. This person is saying, sending products to the United States or outside the country, are there necessary documents to possess? For instance, if you are exporting perishable products, or certification or something, are there necessary documents that are needed, and so on. So then another person said, here is my business, motor spare parts. I base in Abuja, Nigeria. Shock absorber is one of the best original. Okay. Okay. Then this person is asking, exporting food items to America. How do one get the American packaging standards? Because I understand it varies in states. Okay. So I think that will be all for now. So these individuals, they are listening, and they also they just asked questions, based on your explanation. So I would like you to give us, but before then, I would like you to also give us, while you were explaining about the distribution network, and you gave a very good picture of the China and the Chinese and how they build their company cluster. Then it sounds very similar to what we have in Aba here in the Southeast, because they have a cluster of people who make shoes, bags, and different things. But they for a long period of time now, that is what they have been doing. There is no upscaling there, and we've never had any big brand, coming out from Aba. We've never had any known big brand that is competing even at the national level, or even at the intercontinental level. Talk more of being an international brand. So you talked about how there's something you talked about that I also like. You talked about how if you are venturing into the business for the first time, that you may want to have the design first, and go and meet those who are manufacturing it and get these products done, instead of setting up, a company from scratch and start manufacturing. That it may be difficult because in China, the government subsidizes the manufacturing over there, which we do not have the luxury and advantage here in Nigeria. So these are the very important things you highlighted. I don't know, Obina, you are here. Are you still available?
Yeah. I'm still here. I'm listening.
Okay, so I don't know, do you have anything to add to what we are discussing? So before we go back to Adam.
No, you guys can go ahead and just listening.
All right, Chief, do you think it is time for us to allow these the listeners to request for mic so that we can have a more robust conversation?
Yes, I think so. Mr. Adam, thank you so much so far. You've been wonderful, with the tips you've been giving us. So now we'll have to open up the microphone so you can request for the microphone to talk to Adam, to ask your specific question. That way, he will be able to answer your question directly. So yeah, Adam, you can respond to what Anambra person asked earlier. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. I'll keep this quick, but I see all these questions, and what I'll do is, if you guys follow me on Twitter, and I'm new to Twitter, I just started Twitter, so I'm bigger on LinkedIn, but I'll try to address all these issues in follow-up tweets, so we can get the conversation going, and then I'll pass it off to Chief and Chioma and everyone, and we can begin a conversation that lasts a long time, So I'll some of the questions that you're asking that I don't answer well and I think about later in the day, I'll post answers on my Twitter, okay? But and two, I have a video already up on my Twitter, which is on blockchain and how Nigeria can enter the play to earning game space. And I think that that's a great video that my company made. We made it for you today because I think outside of trade, blockchain and gaming might be one of the biggest opportunities that you all can make money on outside of trade. So please check out that video and subscribe to our Secure Tool YouTube channel. Anyways, the first thing I think about with those questions was a guy who is selling motor parts from Nigeria to America was one of the questions. And I tell you something, that's a good business right there. You have a lot of opportunities, sir. Whoever's business that is has a lot of opportunity. That's going to be not just a brand opportunity. That's more of a price sensitive. There's a lot of websites. There's a lot of businesses that will buy shocks. If that person wants to send the information to Chief, I can help that person maybe make relationships in that industry because I'm very strong in the motorsport industry, as I'm I'm very strong in auto and trucking and transportation, so I could help you specifically. But I think things like that are less about brand. They're not fashion. They're more about parts. And right now, those parts are in high demand, and it's all going to be about pricing. And those are small parts, so you can ship them. As far as other, as you said, there's in Nigeria, there are certain clusters like China where they're manufacturing product. That's right. That's what you want to go to. And you guys want to focus on brand, 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 brand. There is no Nigerian famous brand. You have to change that. You have to change that. And you say, this Adam Paul is crazy. He is crazy. How can we win brand? Of course you can win brand. How can you not win brand? You have culture. If you consistently build your brand, you're going to have something that's more valuable than the product sales of making $5 every sale. You're going to have a brand. If you have a brand, that's worth value. And two, you will be able to work with other Nigerian companies and help them enter the market because you have the platform. Okay. But as for specific questions on this, when it comes to like logistic questions, some of you are asking questions like, how do I get my product in? Where do I warehouse this, right? First of all, you want to warehouse this in America. You want to warehouse this in cheap states that are close to, so in America, there are bans. If you host a product in Georgia, people that deliver around Georgia and Florida are going to get, your logistics is cheaper. If you're in Mississippi, it might be cheaper logistics, but when you ship to a Florida client, even though it's right next to Georgia, it's going to be more expensive to ship. So it might be better to find a warehouse in a cheap southern state like a Georgia or a Texas and have them, that product then can ship across the country. Okay. And you might need a second warehouse. It's not more expensive. It's just that you might need two locations, maybe one in New York and one in Texas, because when something comes from the Northeast, you ship it from New York. And, you know, when it's in the Southeast or Southwest, you ship it from Texas. Okay. Two, a lot of the questions you have on paperwork and what you need, those are easy, free answers from a logistics broker. You need to go to an import-export, a broker, a customs broker, a customs specialist. There are a lot of companies. You just need to contact them in LA or in Georgia and have Chioma or Chief or some of these folks help you. I know Chioma knows that industry very well, and she can help you to make relationships with the right custom brokers. And there's only a few of them that are going to really understand Nigeria to America. And a lot of them are going to say, I don't know. If you don't put your product with me in LA, I don't know anything about Texas. I don't know anything about Georgia. So the way to find a good customs broker is to go to the state that, you know, like a Georgia, and start calling and saying, I want to talk to custom brokers. Let me go on Google, look for custom brokers, and start calling them and say, I'm Nigerian business. I want to import this. What paperwork do I need? Please tell me. I have customer. I am starting to sell this way. Now, if you want to do the, see, a lot of people make the mistake of going on Amazon and just joining the Amazon Prime program. I don't like that, because if you join Amazon program, you can only sell to Amazon. I want a general warehouse where I can sell on eBay, I can sell on Amazon, and I can serve local businesses. With that, I open it up for specific questions. I hope that information answered your questions.
Yes, thank you so much. What I heard you say about getting the whole documentation and paperwork for transporting and kind of exporting products, you talked about meeting with the state custom broker, right? And then discussing on the documents that is needed for that. Okay, I just want to make sure that that's what I heard you say. All right, thank you. Uche, you want to say something?
No, I just want to tell our listeners to start dropping their questions if they have any.
Oh, okay. So the microphone is on, open now. You can come up. Of course, when you come up here, you have to raise your hand so that we can call you to ask your questions. We'll start with Owefi. Owefi, are you here?
Yes, I am, Chief. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Adams. How are you?
Doing well, sir. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. My question is around the pricing competition for products that are coming from Nigeria to US as against the same type of products that are also coming from places like China and other places where the cost of production is not as high as it is in Nigeria. You know, for example, here you virtually have to provide everything that you need for yourself to manufacture a single product, from electricity to water to everything. Then you have products of the same type coming from places like China, where you have a better operating environment. In this kind of situation, how can a new entrant in in the American market compete with products that are coming from mass markets like China and the rest of them? That is my number one question. Secondly, we have quite a couple of bureaucratic bottlenecks. You know, when you are shipping from Nigeria, you know, from customs clearance to a whole lot. Sometimes you have a product you ship here from Nigeria, and it stays quite a whole, a very long time at the ports before it even leaves. For example, my company is involved with a couple of businesses across Africa. We shipped one product here from Lagos since January. It's just arrived at the port of Lome about 2 weeks ago. So these are part of the issues we have here. Now, say shipping to America, and where we are dealing with this kind of issues from Nigeria, what kind of how would you advise somebody who intends to ship from Nigeria and sell to America in terms of product shelf life and quality? In other words, whereby given all these issues, that your product will still arrive in America and still retain the same quality and still be fit for use for the intended purpose. Those are my questions. Thank you.
Those are wonderful questions. Okay. So the first question: how do you compete with China and India? That's great. Okay. So first of all, American buyers do not want Chinese product. They buy it because it's cheap, but slowly the market is changing its attitude to Chinese product. And if you can sell them something from a non-Chinese company, they'll like you more. You have an advantage. There's really not a lot of love for China these days here. Second of all, here's something very interesting that all of our callers should really think about. When Chinese company send a product to Amazon, they don't pay import tax. But when you send a product to a warehouse that's not an Amazon warehouse, and you send it to a company, of course you had to pay import tax. Okay? So you say, well, it's better to go on Amazon. I don't have to pay import tax. No. I'm saying there's more competition as an import, as to sell on Amazon, because you're dealing with Chinese companies that are not paying taxes. It's not legal. Amazon really is going to get sued in a big way one day by the federal government. So if you're selling it to regional businesses, those Chinese companies have to pay a 25% import tax on all Chinese goods and higher based on some products. So your competition level is less when you serve businesses. And a lot of Chinese don't serve businesses. They sell it to companies who buy it at the border and then distribute. I'm saying to you, you have the ability to go directly to businesses, cut out those wholesalers that are going to buy cheap from you, brand it, and in the end of the day, you're not going to really deal with Chinese because you don't worry about the price. You're only worrying about the price if you're selling in a mass way to a wholesaler who cares about price. But if you're going to store the product in Mississippi and sell shoes to regional stores, I don't think you're going to worry about price. You're not going to compete with Chinese people because they're not going to be calling stores. They can't even communicate. And two, their pricing that the importer buys from the Chinese, they're going to be selling it for much more than you because they have to live in America. They have to have a house here. They have to send their kids to school here. And it's more costly than Nigeria. So at the end of the day, you have numbers. Second of all, you asked me, hey, local logistics in Africa is not easy. How do we maintain the integrity of our product when it gets to America? I say two answers to you. One, this is a very difficult problem, very difficult. So this is why I say to you, food is very difficult to do, unless it's dry food, and it's still difficult. So I think it's harder to build in the food area unless it's a dry packaged good, like a ramen noodle with a Nigerian flavor. You have to think all these black guys in African Americans in American prisons, they all eat ramen noodles. You know, I've been involved in this business. So you can serve with an African taste different things that are sold to prisons, that are sold to, anything, black schools, HBCU schools, anywhere where black folk, American diaspora black, meet, commercial. Or you can do it in anything, any area. But the point is that food becomes difficult to move because of African logistics. And two, American import of African food has been difficult too. So you're going to deal with challenges. So when you get into the food area, that's difficult. But when you move outside of food, okay, and you're talking about other products, you are going to have to find a very good logistics setup. And maybe that's where you cooperate with 5 or 10 other African Nigerian businesses that send product to American warehouse together. So you can partner up. Because if you can rent a container and you're not worried about LCL, you not just have one pallet on a container, you can control the movement of that container more. And thirdly, you can find a logistics company that just does Nigeria to America, and you can slowly build a relationship that doesn't have you stuck in Nigeria at a port for 2 months, right? But I understand why that happens. The second thing I would say to you is, here's an idea for all of you that might be a little crazy, but it might be a solution to your problem. In the beginning, you might not be able to offer all of your products from Nigeria to America. You might want to just establish a Nigerian brand, a website, and what you can do is start to purchase products from India, from Vietnam. I wouldn't do China. Or from other areas in the black diaspora that you feel you can work with. Or two, you can get involved in manufacturing in the United States. You say, what do you mean? I say, listen, you all need to look at 3D printing. 3D printing. 3D printing allows you to manufacture here in the United States a couple items at a time. And if you were to manufacture it here in the United States through 3D printers, then from Nigeria, you're doing design, you're doing marketing videos, you're doing all different marketing related activities, and you can manufacture small orders from 3D printing manufacturers here in America, so you could pay small amounts of money. And you manufacture it, and then you could distribute that, you know, as you make them. So I think the 3D printing area makes a lot of sense. Let me give you an example, guys. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about the home improvement area, the idea of home goods. Maybe Nigeria is not very good to make spoons. Maybe Nigeria is not a place that you can make bathroom tile. But you know what? You can still be a big business in this area. You can buy tile from America, or you can buy all different types of kitchen product, picture frames, chairs, tables. You can have them made in 3D printing shops in America. What you have to do is provide the design for the table, design for the kitchen countertop, the design for the picture frame, the design for the plate. Why? Because Black people in America, they want to buy from Black people. It's called Black-owned businesses. And you know what the problem with African American business owners? They are not able to manufacture. They're not good at this business right now. They're not strong for many reasons. So, but that doesn't mean that Black Americans just want to buy any product. They would love to buy Black-owned product. They just don't have that. So as a Nigerian, you understand design. If you make a table, a design for a table, or if you make a design for a picture frame, every Black in Georgia and Mississippi, they want to buy that Black-made, Black-owned business product for their house. So if you go to a 3D printer in Georgia, like Proto Labs or Stratasys or any of these 3D manufacturers, you can send them $500. They can make you, with your design, 500 picture frames, $1 a piece. And if you start selling them to 40, 50, 60-year-old Black women, or 25-year-old Howard University graduate who's a lawyer, he's going to be looking for your brands, and that's where you can be successful. You can start by making the product here, and then slowly, as you get numbers and work out logistics, start moving product direct from Nigeria. Does that make sense?
Adam, yes. I want to ask you a question. There's something you said, and I just wanted to mention again. What did you call the 3D printing places you mentioned?
Okay, so 3D printing is a manufacturing process that I think is going to be very important. And I will send an article or two that I've written for, I write for different news magazines, professional, things of this. So I've written 3D printing. I'll put those on my my Twitter or something. I don't know. So you can find them later after this talk. But 3D printing was established in the 1970s as a way to manufacture small amounts of sample product or small amounts of product. And today there are many companies that do 3D printing, guys, across the United States. Now, two of the major brands that you'll know about is Proto Labs, Protolabs, and a company that I think owns Proto Labs or has an investment in them is more of the 3D machine maker, is a company called Stratasys, Stratys. Now, there are, again, many companies that do this. So all you have to do is 3D printing manufacturers and start to look at what they actually make. Some people specialize in, different products. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to send your design to them, right? Send your design. First of all, see what they make. See what they make. Maybe they make plates. Maybe they make chairs. Maybe they make tables. Okay, good. Then you say, okay, this is good. Now, how can I make this? What design do I need to send you? And they tell you, oh, I need these specs. Okay. You need what? Okay, I need a CAD drawing. Oh, you need CAD drawing. So you're gonna have to make a CAD drawing, or they will have some prototypes, right? And then they will send it to you, and then you will put your design on it. Let's say that you do, the beautiful Nigerian flag. Okay, I mean, I'm just giving you an example, right, guys? And you put a Nigerian flag embedded into a table, and the table is made, and they put the design on it. The question is, how many people want that Nigerian flag table? And where are you going to market it to, right? Are you going to market it to college students? Are you going to market it to 50-year-old African-American ladies? Or are you going to market it to white people that really love Nigerian culture? You can do all of it, That's the cool thing is there's websites and there's stores and there's different ways to distribute to all of those people. Because white people love Nigerian art too. I have Nigerian stuff in my house that I'm proud of. I will take a picture and show you of a statue that I bought many years ago. So to me, it just depends on who's buying. And so you can find those 3D printing places very easily online.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know, where is he? Has he left? I don't know if he has another question before we move to the next person. Thank you so much, Adam, for that. Okay, yeah, with you here.
Yeah, that's all for me. So I can drop down to the listener again. Thank you. Cheers.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so we're gonna call the next person. I think it should be Uzoma. Uzoma, you here?
Hi.
Hi. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Adam. So I've subscribed to your YouTube channel, and yeah, I'll take time to watch the video later. But then I want to ask, how much business potential do you think the digital NFT market holds in the long run, in the area of art and gaming NFTs, and why? And then secondly, how best would you advise a person to start in this area, with this business idea?
I think that the world, it's a great question. So listen, so I basically minored in African American. I'm white, I'm Jewish. Okay. I'm 42 years old. I've got, I married a Chinese lady. I have a child. I've been involved, as I said to begin this call, I've worked with a lot of government to incubate job creation. I mean, I was hired by the president of Haiti to lead job creation in Haiti, right? For 2 million jobs. And that, if you ever go to Haiti, it's a crazy situation. It's very, very poor. Okay. And I was also worked in Mississippi. That's where I met Chioma, who invited me to talk today. And that area of the country is a mess. Okay. It's a mess. And so as you look around the world, there is so much poverty. Okay. And so the world is looking for ways to create jobs and create money. And I truly believe, after starting 20 businesses and investing in many and being a Jewish guy who loves business from the time I'm born, I can tell you that we have a really significant problem in this world because inflation is so high that there's not a lot of, very soon, a lot of countries will go into debt trap and there will be less money. We have just come from 10 years of big growth globally, and China is going to go down. It's going to reduce. America is going to have a worse economy, not a better economy. The globe, the world is going into lower growth, and that's going to cause, with higher pricing, it's going to be a problem. So I do believe that technology is going to be the future of much of business. And I really feel this is an opportunity. And so when you look at the blockchain, I don't know about crypto, because crypto to me is trading currency. And I'm a trader, but I don't think that's the opportunity. I think you can do that. But the real opportunity is in blockchain. And so I want to talk about two opportunities. The first is in NFT, and the second is in gaming. Well, let me change that. Let's go gaming and NFT. I firmly believe that gaming, that what play to earn gaming is probably the best opportunity that will emerge in the next 5 years. If you want to start a business, it's a big area, gaming. I highlight Star Atlas. There's a lot of companies, okay, that are emerging in this sector. But gaming, instead of buying into a game and buying Sega Genesis or Nintendo, you can go online and you can play games and make money, more money than you can make in your job. So as an entrepreneur, you can play to gaming space many ways, right? In Nigeria, there are many people that play games. You can develop a team to play games, and you can get a percentage of their earnings. You can start play to earn gaming space in Nigeria and have a Nigerian team, or people rent your space. There's many ways to get into play to earn gaming. Watch the videos on Twitter that off of our channel or on my Twitter space. You can see that more about play to earn. The NFT space is a little different. The NFT space, you either buying NFTs for the game, or you can make NFTs for anything. And I really believe, guys, that the NFT space could make you a lot of money. Here's what I say, okay? Let me give you an example of a project that I'm working on, okay? And something that you can do. So one of the big things is Americans, white, black, Mexican, it doesn't matter. People in Germany, we have the same interest in the blues. A lot of people around the world love the blues. And Jackson, Mississippi, for example, specializes in the blues. So what we've done as a team, I have a company that went around Jackson, Mississippi and took pictures. Took pictures of the city. Took pictures of all the graffiti. Took pictures of the famous buildings. Took pictures of the street called Fair Street that in the 1920s was the Black Wall Street of America. And I took these pictures, and what we did was we are turning them into NFTs. Because the future of America, the future of the world, instead of having art on your wall made by hand, it will be just a simple TV screen, you know what I mean? And it will display video art. And every black college student, every white college student, every Mexican college student will have a video picture in their room, and they will want to change that picture based on their interest. If they have a girlfriend come over, if they have, their mother come over, they are going to have a different picture in that digital screen. And of course they will want Nigerian art or Nigerian photos or Nigerian this, okay? 2, the NFT space isn't just pictures on your wall. It can be shoes or clothes that are designed by Nigerian businesses that are used for your Twitter profile, for your Reddit profile, right? I mean, everybody is going to want to have their own digital profile in the future. I'm sure a lot of people will have a Nigerian. They want to buy shoes or digital pants or a digital tie. And it's made by this Nigerian designer because it makes them look good, right? Maybe we can even continue. Maybe again, there's a current brand that is coming out of Africa that sells products, and you want to help them make NFTs to support their own brand. Or maybe you have a friend that makes products that sell them, and you want to take those products and make them into digital belts, right? One-off art pieces that could be sold to people that want to display them on their digital profile. So the NFT space allows you to do something using your culture, using art, using design that can be sold in many ways, not only directly to consumers, but there's a lot of websites that sell NFTs, and it's easy for you to list them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes, most definitely.
So just guys, so if you could, if you want to make $1 billion, right? If you want to be the next Dagonte, that's the richest man I think in Africa now. My opinion is get into 3D printing, get into NFTs, get into gaming. Why? Think about it. All three of those areas are easy for cash flow. You can sell your NFTs and get them easy. 3D printing, you have a design. You can, when people want to order, you send your small production order to America, and they make it and they send it out to your client right away. No cash flow problem. No import-export documents, right? So, and then with gaming, you can use cheap labor to work the game and to play the game, and you get real dollars for that. And you can use the cost advantages. So you have to use Nigeria for what it's good at. It has a space, it has a place in the world. It's just that if you're trying to send foodstuffs and you don't have a government that's invested enough in logistics, you cannot win. This is going against the current. You will die in the ocean.
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Before we proceed, I just want to make this announcement. If you have any business you want us to talk about here, you can send a DM to me. I can talk about it free of charge so that people that are interested will follow you for more details. So we're gonna move forward. The next person should be Maazi. Maazi, are you here? Maazi, are you here? Okay, I think he's not available. One moment, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Chemaka. I actually didn't come to ask a question. I came to pitch my business to the group. In hope of anybody that is interested in investing in the business, so that they can reach out to me and we can move with it. I hope I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, just go ahead then. So that after that, then we can ask more questions to Adam. Go ahead.
Okay, so I run a food and fruit business. The food business, I make local Igbo delicacies like nkwobi, abacha, meals, soup. I make soup for families during the weekend. And for the fruit business, I make smoothies, I make tiger nut milk, and the rest. So lately, my business has been facing some challenges due to the insecurity in Anambra and the recent curfew. Then also, um, is not really a place where they believe in making online food orders. They believe more in physical places, going to a physical restaurant to have their meals. So it's been affecting my business a lot. So I thought about I have a plan to open a physical shop, and I want to run. Last time I tried to pitch this business, some people said I should come back with the financial statement and pitch it to them. So, right now, okay. So right now, on a normal, I sell um an average plate of food. I sell with 1 liter plates, like the big plate. and I sell at 4,000 naira average, and I make a profit of 1,000 naira to 800 naira per plate. But I make sales of 30 plates a month. So with a physical shop, I'm having with what I calculated, I'll be selling a plate of food, 1,000 to 1,500 a plate, or snail, and I'll be making a profit of 600 to 700 naira. Now, I also have the hope of having about 30 to 50 customers a day with a physical shop. Like that would be my least amount of customers when I have a physical shop. And with that, sorry, I made a mistake. I mean, the cost of making a plate of food will be costing me like 600 to 700, giving me a profit of about 400 to 500 a plate. Now, if I'm to sell to about 30 people in a month, I should be making that's daily. If I'm to sell to 30 people daily, I don't know. I'm sounding back to myself. I think somebody's mic is on, so it's distracting a bit. Okay. If I'm to sell to about 30 people a day, now a month I should be making like 900K. But right now I'm making less than 50K a month. But if I'm to open my place, selling both the food, adding the beer, because I know that to open a place, a restaurant, you also have to think about selling soft drinks and beer, and also selling my smoothies. I know that I should be making more than 900,000 of a month gross profits before I will talk about paying my rent and my workers. And the least net profit I should be making should be about 650K in a month. And from there, I can now settle both myself and whoever it is that I finally partner with. So I have a drafted proposal with my financials, what would be needed for the physical shop, where I want the physical shop to be open or where I feel it should be opened. I was thinking more of Newi, Oka, or Enugu. Those are the three locations that I am looking for a shop right now. And whoever it is that is interested in investing in my business, I would not mind sending my business proposal or emailing them or meeting the person up to discuss the business with them. So I don't know if anybody has any question for me, I can answer. I wrote a lot of stuff concerning it, but I don't think time will permit me to really, read out everything or in details. So if anybody has any question for me, I can answer.
All right. One moment. Thank you so much. The by Dalon Rinne. I think Adam no issue with connection here. I think he's trying to connect back. Once he does that, then we'll continue with him. So if you have question, I think got them make a request here for microphone so that I can come up once on Chetalazo. You can come up and ask him the question. So while we're waiting for him to be back, I've sent a message to our second speaker. He's not online yet. So, and I hope maybe all the busy in office, but as soon as he responds, we'll be rounding up on this segment, and then start the second one. So if you have a business as well, as Igbo, we've mentioned it, we will publish and allow you to come up here and speak about it free of charge, so that people that are interested would contact you. Again, forward. Okay, I think Adam is back. That's good. So we are going to go on with the question so that we can finalize with him and continue the rest of the things we have for today. But before the next question, Choma, I want you to talk to us. Choma, are you here?
Yes. Ndeba in day one. Good morning. Good
Chief, I know
afternoon.
I'm here. Oh, I can know I'm here.
Good evening. I will not be long. I'm just gonna be a little bit brief. Adam AP,
Yes.
I thank you
Yes.
for doing this well. Chief, I thank you for organizing this. It has been an interesting conversation. To say I have a lot of contacts in the US, and what I plan on doing moving forward is that I will talk to them if they are comfortable enough to share this space with us. I will let Chief know. That's number one. Number two is there's something Adam Paul said regarding exporting of food into the United States. The reason why that is very, very difficult when it comes to food is because that's the easiest way to poison a lot of people. So because of that, there's a lot of regulation that goes into that if you want to import food into the United States. Is that doable? Yes, you can do that, but you have to be prepared to go through a lot of regulation, red tapes, from facility regulation and screening as well. Let me give you an example what that looks like. If you manufacture smoked fish, let's use that as an example. Okay, and the smoked fish that you manufacture, but you don't package that smoked fish in the same facilities, but package it somewhere else. Let's say if you manufacture in your location in Onitsha, for example, but you transport the smoked fish to Lagos to package, for example, or Asaba to package, and you try to export into the United States. What that means is that your facilities in Onitsha, smoking the fish and the product has to go through its own regulation and go through screening and all the stuff that goes into that. And if you export to somewhere else to package, wherever that location is, that place has to go through everything your own location went through. And it's not something you get in 2 weeks or 1 month. It's a long process. Then, if you do it in the same location, it's much easier because everything is done in the same location. The reason being is that when you export into the United States, it's not like when somebody buys smoked fish in Ochanja market or any market in Nigeria, and you go home, you cook the smoked fish, and maybe they get food poison, right? You take the person to the hospital. That's the end of it. Here, the government regulates a lot of things. So if the reason why you go through facility inspection is because if that smoked fish, government will assign you a number. If that smoked fish that you exported into the United States, causes some type of food poisoning, the US government will be able to track you back into Nigeria and track that infection or that food poison or that disease into the facility where it came from, because that smoke fish come from that specific facilities. So what goes into the process is a lot. That's why importing food, for some of us that are interested in doing that, there is business in that section, but there is also a lot of regulations and the inspection that goes into that. So if you're interested in doing that, we can arrange for, more information into that to get someone to speak to us more. But, it's doable, but you have to be prepared to go through a lot of stuff. And some of this regulation inspection takes money as well. It's very expensive.
Definitely. Yes.
It's very, very expensive to get facility inspection in Nigeria. Get facility. If you're doing packaging in one location and you're doing smoking in one location, doing all those inspection is very, very expensive. And you're talking in dollars. And right now, exchange rate is no joke in Nigeria. So you have to keep that in mind. Adam Paul also mentioned about financing, export financing. There is a bank, a US bank called EXIM, Export Import Bank. It doesn't matter your geographical location. If Nigerian bank doesn't want to loan you the money, maybe you want to do something, you have grown your business, just like he mentioned, you have grown it to a certain level, but you need more capital, to do it much bigger than what you used to do. You have your own money, but you need more. Then you can reach out to Exim Bank, Export Import Bank. Is an American government bank that promotes global import export. So they don't look at whether you're an American company or you're a Nigerian company. As long as you meet the criteria, to loan the money, to have the funding that you need, they will release the money to you. But again, everything you're doing with foreign government, there's always a process to get to that place. And some of those processes requires you to submit all kinds of documents, and they're going to verify every single one of them. And some of the process are long. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. So I just kind of want to make that clear in support of what Adam Paul says. See, my own area is in the government. I have so much interest in what US government is doing inside Nigeria, and also what Nigerian government is doing to help what is going on, or in support of what is going on in Nigeria, not in politics, but in the business environment. So I've known Adam Paul since my college days, and we have remained, friends over the years. So my goal is eventually to bring him into Nigeria to see it to himself how the market looks like, because sometimes when I talk to him, we get into the conversation. It's always difficult, So I'm glad this space is, we have it now, and we can share those experiences. So I yield my mic. Thank you so much.
All right, Chema, thank you so much. I think what you said was very, very important for people that have been listening so far. So if you have a small scale or medium scale business that is already at a reasonable height, and you are thinking about getting some loan or funding, Exim Bank, like she mentioned, is something I think you should look into. I think you can just go to their website, and I think the Exim is spelled as EXIM Bank. Just Google that and maybe see the regulations and the policies they have regarding that, so you can apply for those loans. Chema, thank you so much once again. Anambra Person, welcome back. So we're going to move forward. Adam is back for people that have questions. We'll go to Crystal. Crystal, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My first question is now to Adam. How can you secure, like he said, you can go to the e-commerce or website, you register, and then you meet new people that want to buy your product. And then if you meet the new people, how can you secure your payment from those customers if you ship to them? That's my first question. And another thing I want to say regarding my business, because I'm a Nigerian, precisely from Igbo, and I'm based in Lagos, but I just came to Sierra Leone. I do come to Sierra Leone to buy gold and go to Dubai to sell. But now I want to penetrate into US to buy and sell into US. So I want to know how we'll be able to do that there.
Okay, so a great question. So first of all, I think the two questions are kind of similar in a way. I know the first one is more payment oriented, but let's take the questions together and see if I can answer them. So if you're buying something from Sierra Leone, which is a war-torn country that I don't even know if Americans understand the culture of Sierra Leone, but they definitely know Nigeria. Okay. 100% of people in America know Nigeria as a country. You've got to be crazy if you don't. So that's good, because that's recognizable. So, you know, if it's Sierra Leonean and you're talking to the right people, that's a brand people are going to be interested in because they understand the history. Okay. So, first of all, it's very important that you're buying things in different areas of Africa. I know that there's cost advantages there. That's great. You can turn wherever you're buying from, be authentic. You know, rock who you are, they say. Well, make sure that every time you do a business or a product, wherever it comes from, be clear where it comes from. Promote Sierra Leone, promote Nigerian as the manufacturer, where the material comes from. Because in the future, I promise you, in the next 5 or 10 years, it's going to be very important where something comes from. And blockchain technology, which is already here, is allowing you to monitor where it comes from, the product, where it's made. So more and more people are going to be interested in this. They're going to scan it. They're going to see, oh, this was made in Sierra Leone. This was made in Nigeria. Great. I want to buy it. I don't want to buy the Chinese stuff. 2, when you talk about selling to America, I want to be very clear again. It depends on what buyer. I mean, there are, in my opinion, if I'm a Nigerian business right now, I, again, want to take the Black-owned business space. I either because that's necessary. You have to understand. Let me give you, outside of consumer or retail, let me give you an example. I was in Mississippi. There's a very long-serving politician named Senator Horn, Horn, I believe. That might be misspelled. I don't know. But I talked to him, and he said to me, Adam Paul, how can we get more Black business owners to do the hospital business? I said, what hospital business? He says, I just need gloves. I need gauze. I need syringes. I said, why do you need this? He said, because in Mississippi, there is a lot of healthcare. The big employers are education, healthcare. So the hospitals are big business. But you know, they have I don't know if it's a law or a policy that 10 or 20% of products should come from Black businesses. But you know what? There isn't enough Black businesses to sell those products. So there's open contracts. If a Black entrepreneur wanted to sell syringes in Mississippi, he could. So my point to you is that you're going to have to be creative. If you can directly sell to companies and to websites, and through websites, your products, that's one way. The second way is you need to join local business organizations, not just Black, right? Mississippi has Black organizations and it has general business organizations. What I would do is talk to Chioma, look at what organizations you could join from Nigeria on phone calls, on conference calls, on video Zoom calls, and try to participate and meet local American business owners that they themselves are making business. They themselves have local relationships. Now, why I answer the question when you ask me, hey, what about money? How fast I get my money? I tell you, at the end of the day, if you're selling to a company, again, you're going to need, it's going to be on the water or it's going to be in the air for 30 to 90 days. So you're going to have to finance it. And then you're going to have to get it to the warehouse or the company. And then they're going to pay you 10 days, 30 days later. That's not easy. If you can find a buyer that is maybe a part of a local business group that can help sell your product, or that can be a partner in financing that, and then they can flip it to the local merchant, they might make some money on you. It's okay, but they'll pay. Or they have the ability to get a bank loan in America to absorb the cost easier than you. That's another way. And then thirdly, there's a lot of finance companies in America. So if you're going to buy something from Sierra Leone and you put Sierra Leonean brand and you put in Sierra Leonean packaging and you send it to America and you have a business that wants to buy it, you can probably go to many companies who will finance it for a 10-day, 20-day, 30-day period. Easy. It's really not that difficult. I promise you. If you get into big money, different. But they are protected. They are protected. They will have policy to protect themselves so that you have to pay them. Right? So there's a lot of ways. And in the blockchain area, there's a lot of loan programs that you can take as well. And you can get loan and pay for product. So I think there's a lot of ways for you to collect money and finance product that you buy in Nigeria, Sierra Leone, or anywhere and sell to American businesses. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, of course.
All right. Thank you so much, Adam, for that response. So we're gonna go on now to it should be school. So cool. Are you here?
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Please, my question is concerning the blockchain, especially NFT. And the thing is, everybody's talking about NFT, but there's more to NFT than NFT. It's not just about taking picture. Most times you have to create a value around this stuff and you have to create a hype around it. And most time all these things are highly costing, like for you to get some top influencers to push this thing. If not, if your NFT does not have value, it's not going to be valued in the space. So now I want to know, how can you mitigate around this stuff to be able to build a hype around it without, especially when you're just coming up, when you don't have that much finance to build the hype around it, and also value. How can you build a value, even though right now we're working on something which I wouldn't say here, because the idea for now it has not been done, have something we're doing. So I just want to know, how can we actually do this and get it right? Thanks.
Okay. I agree with you on both of the points. It's not just taking a picture. And two, you need a value. Well, which is the value. And then two, you need to push it out. Okay. So guys, I tell you this. Very good question. Very, very good question. Let's look at the distribution first, and then we'll go back to the product value, okay? So you need an influencer to push it out. You're right. You are right. You are never going to be able to push anything out on your own. This is true. Now, let me give you a little story. So I'm a white guy, Jewish guy, and I have an invention that I needed to push out. And so I made ramen noodles, a food, dry food. Ramen noodle, 30-gram